and it's so unpredictable. Hello everybody, this is Eddie, and I'm here with my friend
Tana.
And today we are in Novosibirsk, Russia. And today I'm going to tell you guys my story about love. And I'm also going to tell Tanya, because she has not heard it. To make a long story short, I fell in love with the wrong woman. And I was in love with this woman, not for 1 year, not for 2 years, but maybe even 3 years. I could not stop thinking about her, even though I knew that I did not want her as a long-term partner. But what troubled me so much was that I could not forget about her, and I could not understand why. See, there has to be a reason why our bodies feel a certain way. Long story short, I ended up coming across Dr. Buss, and he wrote a book, David Buss, called The Evolution of Desire. And that was thanks to Arash Dibazar, and he knows a lot about relationships, so I give him credit as well. But here is what was happening with my body. Because see, our bodies are composed of genes, of DNA. And these genes, they're very selfish. And of course, now that I mentioned the selfish gene, there is a book out there by Richard Dawkins, and he talks extensively about this. But it's like our bodies are kidnapped, and we have to conform to a certain way because our genes, we're programmed. So in other words, we have to understand how our bodies are composed, because our thoughts can be controlled by our body. So in other words, this right here is also an educational program. So the reason why I loved that woman was because my genes were being selfish. And all they cared about was the continuation of that DNA strand. Now, why am I telling you this? Because I want you to get educated. Now, as a man, to have a successful relationship, you must understand certain things. You must understand your body. You must understand nature. You must understand the woman. And you must understand nature's role and its interaction with the woman. Now, I'm going to tell you why I love Russian women. Because the way they act, it's already aligned with how nature wants them to act. Now, as a man, it's not fair if you say, hey, I want a Russian woman because she's this way or that way. It's not fair if you don't act the way that nature intends you to act. And see, that's why we're here, because we want you to understand nature, and we want you to see how nature is already built there so that you can successfully interact with the woman. And we are going to discuss more about the high status man and nature's role in that. And when I say a high status man, I don't mean to say that, hey, you got to be a rich guy. No, I don't mean that. But there are certain traits that you must possess in order to raise her attraction. Because she's going to be attracted to a man, and the way that that is performed is going to be aligned with nature. So we'll talk more about that. Now I'm going to tell you about, we're going to talk a little bit about American women. And American women, there's a natural way that they behave, but then society says, hey, you got to be independent and you got to be masculine. And as a man from the United States, I'll tell you that that's not a very conducive way to have a successful relationship. And so many relationships out there, people are hurting because, for one, the man does not take the time to understand himself or the woman, and the woman in the United States does not take the time to understand what men want. So think about that. We have a group of women who do not take the time to say, hey, what could make me a better partner in my relationship? And that is hurtful. But here in Russia, we don't got to worry about that, because the Russian women, they already conform to how nature wants them to conform. We want you guys, if you're a man in the United States, or even a man in another part of the world, get a hold of us. And we're going to introduce you to Russian women. And like I said, this is also an educational program, because we are going to be men, and we're going to be a better version of the man that we can be. So subscribe to this channel, and we'll talk to you soon. Time to say bye.
Bye-bye.
До свидания.